Hi, right, just a short video. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have too much time this week to do much in how to install central heating video series, but I did want to point out a couple of things. Now, if you've been looking at any of these videos and if you've looked on the Which website, the only two boilers that they recommend, or boiler manufacturers, are Vaillant and Worcester Bosch. And that's fine, I have no issues with that at all. What I do have an issue with is being forced to ring an 0844 number for a bit of advice and confirmation on the boilers that we are considering. Worcester Bosch are charging 3p a minute, and I've just spent about 10 minutes trying to get through. Well, I got through okay, and then you're just on hold until you're transferred to an engineer. And I wanted to phone up really because we had been looking at a system boiler, and then somebody said to me, well, with your minimal hot water requirement, surely a combi would be sufficient, and it really does seem that that will be the case. So I phoned Worcester Bosch second, but let me just explain what happened with Vaillant. And I reckon this sort of thing is important, because if you can't contact the people easily, then now look at this. They're forcing all homeowners to ring an 0844 number, which they think they've got the right to charge us 4p a minute. Now, I was on hold for 15 minutes before I gave up, so that's cost me 60p. It's outrageous. In the end, I thought I'd ring the sales line, because that's an 0845 number, and that's of course free on my BT package. So I rang that number once. She said she'd put me through. It clicked through, and after a couple of minutes I got disconnected. The second time I re-rung this number, they put me through again, and eventually I got a message saying, sorry, you can't be connected on this number, you have to ring the 0844 number up here. I rang this back a third time, and I was put through to this number, and then gave up because I was waiting too long. I then rang the General Inquiries head office number, which is free, and well, free on my package. It's a local rate number normally, and I eventually got through to somebody, and I complained about the fact that I've been on hold for 15 minutes, couldn't get an answer, and why on earth do they feel it's okay to charge 4p a minute. And I also complained about this. If you go to their boiler section, let's just pick a boiler. I thought this was good. Our Ecotech Plus is a combi boiler. Find out more about combination boilers. Okay, let's click on that. Oh, it doesn't work. How they work and their benefits. Click here. It doesn't work. And that sentence on all of their other, like the system boilers, none of them work. How can a major company like that not realise that their own links don't work? Idiots. Anyway, so I had a whinge about that as well. I know how system boilers work and the benefits, but I just wanted to read Vaillant's take on the boilers. So that didn't work out well. In the end, I didn't get any answers from them. I didn't manage to speak to anybody who was capable of just advising me further on combi boilers, so I just gave up and spoke to Worcester Bosch, who were a little bit more helpful, but I didn't get the feeling that the guy on the end of the helpline really was very technically minded. He just went through their boiler selector, I think, whilst I was describing what I wanted. So it's something to bear in mind if you're choosing a boiler. Just consider how easy the company is to get through to, how much you're going to pay to get through to them. And I was ringing at 4:30 on a Monday, so you would perhaps think that's not going to be a massively busy time of day. And 15 minutes on hold at Vaillant, and I didn't actually get to speak to anybody. So yeah, I think that sucks. So I'm now going to look at some other companies and see if any of those have free phone numbers or normal landline numbers. What if you're on a mobile? You've got to ring an 0844 number. I've no idea how much that's going to cost, but it's going to be a lot more expensive than 3 or 4p. Anyway, over the weekend I recalculated when I had gone to the IDHEE site to calculate the correct size of boiler. I had not given the internal measurements. I'd actually entered the external water wall measurements, and another mistake I had made is we have as you know, if you've been following this, we have a small conservatory. It's not very well insulated and really needs to be replaced, but I actually included that as an extension and added 4,000 watts to this figure, which of course was totally incorrect. So when this had all been recalculated, the actual boiler size came out to 29.17 kilowatts. So a 30 kilowatt boiler will be absolutely perfect. And because we only really have a couple of hot taps and the odd bath required, I don't see any reason why a combi boiler isn't up to the job. Reading many forums and looking online, it seems to say that combis are generally fitted in flats and smaller properties, but I just don't see why we can't use it. We're not going to have any bigger requirements for hot water in the years to come. There's only a few hot taps in the house and the odd bath that I like. Everything else is electric mains water showers. So I am thinking of going the combi route now. I think one of the water flow rates, assuming your mains pressure is okay, was something around 14 litres a minute. Well, that's going to fill a bath up, fairly quickly. We don't have a huge hot water flow at the moment because the header tank is on is upstairs on the first floor. So we don't get masses of hot water, and we've managed quite nicely with that coming out of the tank. Yeah, so that was just a bit of a bleat, really. Get it off my chest about the 0844 numbers, and why do they have to do that? It's not good for the customer. If Which had recommended another third manufacturer now, and they had an 0800 number, I'd be going straight over to them now. I wouldn't even bother with Worcester or Vaillant. But that's just me. That's just the way I feel about those numbers. So yeah. Anyway, more to do, but probably not going to have much time this week. What I've done again over the weekend is just to draw out the first floor plan where the radiators will go, and I've just started to write out a parts list for all of the bits required upstairs. Obviously that's probably going to need to be revised if we fit a well, actually no, probably won't need to be revised if we fit a combi boiler. The radiator runs and everything will still be the same. But yeah, it's interesting. Combi or not to combi? Let me know. Thanks, guys.